The minute I landed in Belfast and started and reconnected with the crew and started to slip into Stella's shoes, it felt like she's under my skin and in a good way, and I really enjoy spending time with her, and so it was lovely. It really was.
It really did feel like coming home. I've never come back for a second series of anything, so I've never had that experience, but I can't imagine it would be any better than it felt to come back to this. And it is just like family, and we had the same crew from the first series and just couldn't wait to get started on it. I got like a breakdown of them first, which I'm sure you were involved in, but quite far in advance got a very detailed sort of 80-page Alan Cubitt breakdown of what would potentially happen in each episode, and I was shaking. I was genuinely shaking reading it. I was so excited to get stuck into it, and then the scripts themselves came along a few months later and they lived up to that and more, and yeah, amazing.
Also because a lot of the the circumstances that both the characters and other characters find themselves in is surprisingly unpredictable. I was very pleasantly overjoyed by just how good they were, and the stories and the trajectory for the characters.
Yeah. And still today, when I say I'm from Belfast, people are like, "Oh my God, is it okay there? How was your upbringing? It must have been crazy." And you're constantly sort of defending it and trying to explain that it's a great place full of brilliant people, and as a geographical place to set this drama. What a great idea, because it just adds an extra thing that people are always in the back of their mind. It already has an energy to it by the fact that it's set in Belfast and everyone knows the history. So for me, a total thrill to be there and to appreciate it and show that there's, you can also, there's so much more to it than what people think.
It's a beautiful place filled with beautiful people who are very interested, I think, in it being seen for what it is today, and I've just had the most extraordinary experience working there.
I think it's such a treat if you have so much unknown territory within a character, and Alan is the master of sort of unknown territory, and was very open to both what Gillian and I planned to do with that and how we planned to portray that on screen, and that was very freeing to be able to explore that. And
but even within that, what I found, especially in the second season, was having a certain trust in myself to know how to get places as Stella in scenes. But there were 2 or 3 scenes in this particular series that were really hard work. There was a moment where she's not necessarily really telling the truth and revealing something to somebody else who trusts her and she trusts and needs that relationship. So at what point is she lying? At what point is she being a good detective? At what point, and those, there were a few, 3 specific scenes like that where I all of a sudden couldn't rely on what I usually rely on. That's when I have an opportunity to exist in that world, working with somebody who is an artist like Anna is.